Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make chiles rellenos. You will need chile poblanos, garlic, jalapeno, tomatoes, onion, eggs, flour, oil, nors, and cheese. I'm using cotija and some toothpicks. Alright, so here I've already roasted my chiles. You have to get them really burnt in order for the skin to come off. You want all of that to come off, and I've also deveined them because I don't want them spicy. If you want them a little spicy, leave some seeds in there, but I will be filling them with cotija cheese. There's a whole bunch of other stuff you can go ahead and fill them with, but personally we just like cotija cheese. I did roast them a little bit too much, that's why they were a little bit too soft. But here I filled it in with the queso cotija and I put in the toothpicks to hold it together. You don't want to put too many, but like I said, they were a little bit too soft for me, so they ended up ripping up a little bit, so I had to add at least 2 toothpicks in order for them to stay. Alright, so now that our chiles are all stuffed, we're going to bathe them in flour, and it's only maybe about half a cup of flour. I'm only doing 4 chiles, so it does not take that much. You do want to make sure that the chile is completely covered in flour because that will help the eggs stick to it once we go ahead and go to the next step. Alright, so now we're on to the eggs. It is technically 1 egg per chile, but I always like to be removing 1, you know, just for healthy reasons. You don't want too much egg. So I did 3, and you want to separate the egg yolk from the egg whites. We're going to go ahead and beat the egg whites first until they're so fluffy, and I think this is like the most lengthiest part of the chile relleno process because you have to beat the egg whites a lot. You will go ahead and see. Now that your egg whites look as fluffy as this, it took me maybe about 4 to 5 minutes to get them that fluffy. You're going to blend in the egg yolks, and I only added 2 of them. I don't want mine too yellow for the same healthy reasons as before, and you don't want to overbeat them. You just want to lightly mix them in, and you'll get the perfect consistency to dip your chiles in. Now that it's completely mixed in together, you're gonna add maybe about 1 to 2 tablespoons of flour to give it a thicker consistency to coat the chile. At this point, you can just whisk it in with the spoon. You do not need to use your blender for this. It'll go ahead and mix right in. At this point, we're gonna go ahead and heat up the pan that we're gonna be using with some oil. I only went ahead and put maybe half a cup or 3/4 of a cup of oil, and we're gonna let that heat up. Now that your oil is hot, we're gonna go ahead and dip the chiles in the egg, which I just showed you, and you just want to kind of like twist it around in there. That way you don't get your fingers all the way dirty. You can just twist it from the stem, and then once it's all completely covered, you're gonna go ahead and drop it in the oil. Alright, so now that you have all your chiles in there, you're gonna go ahead and cook them. They will turn a light brown. That's how you'll know they're ready. And if you can see the cheese in some parts, it's okay. You can just put extra batter right on top, and then the heat will go ahead and cook it closed. Once they start getting brown like that, you're gonna flip them over to the other side so they can cook, and while that cooks, we're gonna go ahead and make our salsa because they do have some salsa that they will cook in at the end so that cheese can melt. So here I'm adding 3 tomatoes, 1 chile jalapeno, which is optional. It's up to you guys if you want to add that little spice on top of that, a small piece of cebolla, and we're gonna go ahead and add 3 medium to small size garlic, and I'm only gonna put maybe about a tablespoon of nor, or maybe like half a tablespoon. You do want to do it to taste. And I did add about a cup or a cup and a half of water. You do want the sauce to be a little bit runny because it's going to be the soup for the chiles, and then we just blend. And we're back to our pan where the chiles are at. This is how they're supposed to look when you know they are ready. They're a little brown color, so that means the egg is fully cooked, and you want to place them in a napkin so they can soak off the extra oil. And look how pretty they look. Now this part is completely optional, but I had some extra batter, so I decided to make like little egg tortitas. Just fry them on the remaining oil, and you have like that extra piece to your plate that you can add aside from the chiles. This is how it looks. You're just gonna let it cook like regular egg, flip it around, it's gonna be like a little tan color, and just put them on the side on the napkin. And now we're gonna put the salsa into the hot pan so it can cook up. Since we didn't previously cook the tomatoes, we wanna make it boil a little bit, and then we can add the chiles. So now that we have a boiling salsa, we're gonna go ahead and add the chiles. But first we do want to give it a taste test to see if it needs more nor or more consomme to give it a little bit more flavor. Mine was pretty good, so we just went ahead and added the chiles right away. Now we just want to make sure that we coat all the chiles in the salsa, and we're gonna go ahead and cover it for maybe like 5 minutes because everything's already cooked. We just want the cheese to melt, so we're gonna go ahead and cover it and let it sit for a little bit. So once you see it boiling, they are completely done. You can go ahead and serve right away with your frijoles and tortillas. And that is it, you guys. It's super easy. Thank you guys so much for watching this recipe, and let me know if you make it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching once again. Bye.